Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome back to this brand new video. So today I thought we would head on into B&M and Dunelm and see if they've got any autumnal pieces out. Before I get into this video, if you are new here, then I do hope that by the end of this video you will have subscribed. Just hit that black subscribe button down below and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Now in B&M I did notice that they didn't have a lot of autumn decor out just yet. But what they do have, I am going to show you. So they had this wreath in store and it was only £6, which I didn't think was a bad price. It's got some pine cones on there, some acorns. These remind me of Christmas. I just think stags' heads and deer heads and things like that, they do remind me of Christmas time. They were only £7, but if you're doing a nice woodland autumn display, they would look perfect on there. These autumnal candle gardens, these were only £7, and I especially liked the little wooden mushroom that you got in that pack. They did have these LED candles which are in the shape of an acorn. They were only £5. Now I have seen them previously. Staying on the candles, they did have some tea light holders. Now these are in the brown amber glass and they were only £2. They did have some larger ones. Now this one is beautiful. It looks like a tiered candle holder. These don't have to stay out all year round. You can just pop them away for different seasons, but you don't have to. You can keep them out as well. This candle I have seen previously. This isn't new, but it is in the shape, well, what I believe, of a pumpkin. It looks very, very pumpkin-y. They had these beautiful acorns for £4. Now I was tempted to pick one of these up, but if I'm not mistaken, in my autumn collection I do have something very similar. So I need to go into my autumn collection, get it all out, see what I've got, and then start to purchase new items for this year. They had this beautiful wreath. Now this is a little bit more fuller than the last one that I've shown you. And this was £15. Again, a really good price point for an autumnal wreath. Do you have autumnal wreaths at autumn? I've just purchased a brand new one, which I will show you on my channel, but I absolutely love it. They had these little creatures. Now these are in like a brass effect. They were £6 each. So they had the hedgehogs and they also had the owls. And I've seen these in quite a few B&M stores now. So I do believe they have just come out for autumn. Then we had this wooden candle. Now this is from the Sanctuary range. Again, a beautiful holder. I always like to look at the holders of candles, what the candle is in. We do have a candle and diffuser set, and this was £8. Now that's got all of the amber glass in. It's got a reed diffuser and a candle. These ones here remind me of the White Company, and this one does remind me of the Seychelles one, even though it does have the dried grass in. And this one was only £6. We've got a beautiful wreath here, and this had orange segments on it. Now, at closer inspection of this wreath, them oranges could have been a little bit more better. They were very plasticky. This wreath was £15, but again, I am showing you a little close-up there of the oranges. I just wasn't impressed with the quality. Then we've got these beautiful reed diffusers. Now, this one is in the scent Apple Pie, and it's £4. They did a few other scents in these, so I am going to show you the other scents. And they also had the candles to match these. So this one was a berry scent, so it's Berry Humble Pie. How nice does that sound? And then we did have the autumn fruits. Now I think this one is my favourite. I have shown it over on my Instagram. That reminds me, I do have 3 other social media platforms for this channel. I have Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. I will leave all the information down below in the description box, but please head on over and give my social medias a follow. These are the candles to match them reed diffusers. So you can see we've got the autumn fruits, the berry pie. These are beautiful. These remind me of the ones that you can get in TK Maxx. Now, TK Maxx are a little bit more pricey, but I do prefer to get my candles from there. This candle here, just again, it gives me Christmas vibes. This was £5. It is in a red container and it does have the stag's ears as the lid, but again, anything like that does give me Christmas vibes. As we move down, I have just noticed that they have placed some of the spring candles on here as well, and I do think it's just because it is in the same design. And then we've got this one here as well, which again is spring, but them candles are quite popular in B&M. For £3 you can get a little bunch of Pampers. Now, I've shown you in a previous video at a different store you can get a bigger bunch for £6.99. These give me Wee Willie Winky vibes. Pop your candle in there. How beautiful is that though? £2.50, really nice. Now, I think I've come to the end of the autumn. I was very, very disappointed with B&M, especially when Home Bargains is next door and their range is phenomenal. So I am just going to show you some other pieces that you could put into a autumnal display from B&M. So we've got some beautiful candles here. Now, these are £3 each. So you've got them in the cream and they've also got them in the black. I don't know what it is lately with B&M, but they're very slow on the uptake. So we do have different stores with all of their autumn pieces out. I will have shown you a few of them, but B&M seem to be trailing behind this year, and last year I don't believe that was the case. We do have some vases here. These are £1.50, but again, you could just put a really nice autumnal pick in there and, you know, use it for an autumn display. This one was £6 and I was going to get this, however Katie doesn't like the feel of these glasses, so when it's of a texture she really can't abide the feel of them. I've shown this churn before, and again I do think it's beautiful, and I keep on thinking, can I make room for it? But I know that I can't. Moving over, these little pieces here would be beautiful styled up on an autumn display. They were £8, which again I do think is a little bit pricey, but I'm just showing you just some items that you could incorporate into an autumn display or your autumn decor, and then you can leave these out if you've got a really neutral home, so they don't have to be just for autumn. I have purchased this in the past and I believe I donated it to a charity shop. That's the thing with me, because I change my home so many times, a lot of my items just get donated to a charity shop. Now, they did have this beautiful candle in. At first I did actually think it was a cup, but it's the earth candle and it's £3. I fell in love with this. It smelled absolutely beautiful, and I thought styled on a shelf in your kitchen that would look beautiful. So they did have some other candles in, but unfortunately I didn't buy anything in B&M today, and I think that's just because I did come in looking for autumn. So I wasn't going to buy something that is not going to be put out in my home up until after Christmas, because don't forget, once I've done my autumn decor, I swiftly move on to Christmas decor. So my house doesn't go back to normal till New Year. So I wasn't going to buy any of this stuff today because, one, it wasn't autumn enough for me, and two, it's not going to be out for another couple of months. So I decided that I'm going to go to Dunelm. It's not very often I go to Dunelm. I've not brought a Dunelm come shop with me, and I've not brought a Dunelm haul. So I am just going to show you the rest of the pieces that I've seen in B&M, and then I'm going to take you to Dunelm. I do have high hopes. So we've got some more little pieces here. Now, this was beautiful. It was £8. Now, I think I could make this for a lot cheaper than £8. This is what happens when I have a look around stores and their prices are a little bit high. I think I could make that. I could make something similar. But again, they did have this display pot as well, and this was £8. As we move across, we've got some more amber glass vases, and these do have some autumnal pieces in. So this is what I'm saying. You get a nice amber glass vase, get a pick and style it yourself. You could do it for a lot cheaper. As we move over, I did notice that b&amp had one of their Christmas wreaths out. Now I'm not sure if this was done on purpose or they just thought it looks very autumnal, so let's pop it out there. Someone might buy it, another Christmas wreath, and I know that this was Christmas. It does have the cottontails on and it was £7.50. So we are now going into Dunelm. I have not brought you a come shop with me in Dunelm before, so this is a first. Look at the first thing that hit me when I walked into Dunelm. This large pumpkin. Now this was £15 and I did notice they'd done a smaller one, so I will show you that as we walk around the store. This acorn was £9 and it was a doorstop. It was so heavy. Now last year, as much as I love pumpkins, I did fall in love with acorns and pine cones. So if it was last year, I would have definitely bought that, even though none of my doors need holding open. They did have some candles. Now this one was £20, which I did think was a little bit pricey, but it is really nice. It's more of a purple glass, which isn't giving me autumn vibes at all. They did have the trio for £8. And they also had this one, so it's a little bit smaller than the one that I showed you at the beginning. This one is £10. We also have these mushroom vases. Now I've shown you in a previous video that another store does these in the brown for £1.99, yet in Dunelm they were £6. They had this little pumpkin filled with a potpourri. Is it potpourri? Yes, I think that's how you say it. And it was £14. So again, if you're just wanting some nice little pieces, then Dunelm had some really nice bits in. This would look absolutely gorgeous, styled in the middle of your coffee table with a candle in the middle. How beautiful. And then we had this bag of pine cones. Now these were only £5, but a little tip for you, go to your local forest and go and forage your own pine cones. All you've got to do is bring them home, give it a wash and pop them in the oven. They did have these moss balls as well for £5, so if you wanted to do a nice little display, then you could add moss balls, and they've also got some different potpourri there, which is £4. Oh, look at this. I'm not sure what this is, but for £3 I would maybe put a candle on top of there, have it like a candle stand. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at this stand, it just screams autumn to me. I noticed this orange eucalyptus wreath. Now this was £8. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous if you're wanting a wreath. They do have the garland for £8 also, so if you're looking for a matching item to your wreath, then Dunelm do the matching items as well. But for £8 I didn't think that was too bad. As I move down, we've got this little hedgehog pot. How cute is this? I'm not sure what I would store in this, but again, all the wildlife is coming out, all the oranges. Now, I had to do a double take on this because I wasn't sure how much it was. It was only £4. Cheap as chips, absolutely gorgeous. They also done some reed diffusers in the autumn scent. They were only £3. At first glance, I did think that these were just little pumpkins. So they had them in the beige and they also had them in the white. They were £2.50, but I've mentioned tablescapes before on my channel. These are place holders. So if you're hosting, you can pop the place card in there so that everyone knows where they're sitting around your table. This was really nice as well. It was in the shape of a leaf. It was gold. I was tempted to pick it up, but like what you're seeing there, I did put it down. And then if you weren't too keen on the pumpkin place holders, they've also got them in the mushroom. So they've done them in the beige and they also done them in the brown. And again, these were only £2.50. I just think, just to set your tablescape off, these were absolutely gorgeous. I loved them. And then we do have some little dishes. Now, I did like the orange one. I'm not sure what I would have put in this, but I did think it was a really nice piece. And they also done it in the blue. Now, I wasn't too keen on the blue. It all depends what your theme is, but that was only £8. As I moved down, I seen this beautiful plush orange pumpkin. Now, different stores do have the pumpkins in, guys. I have seen them. I have shown them on my channel. There's that pumpkin again I showed you. That's the one that's £15. And then we had a little fox ornament there. Then I'm moving on to this little island in the middle of my Dunelm. Now, these plates were £3. They did match that candle that I showed you right at the beginning. Then we had some pumpkin coasters. Now, if you can remember last year, I bought a pumpkin placemat from Matalan, but these were so beautiful. They were only £8, and then they done the placemats to match. So I think you got 2 in a pack, and they were £10. Now, I don't do tablescapes or anything like that, but I do like to buy placemats for different seasons, especially if they're in that rattan effect, because I'll just stand them up on a shelf and make my autumn decor or my Christmas decor look stunning. I fell in love with these guys. They were £6 and they were spoons. Now, I did pick them up. I'm not going to lie to you. I picked them spoons up to go at the side of my kettle for my autumn displays. And they won't be getting used. They are only for show. They did have the pumpkin mugs in. So they had them in the orange and they also had them in the beige. Now, for me, I would definitely buy it in the beige, but that's just me. And these were only £3.50, which is very, very cheap. I've seen them a lot more expensive than that, guys. We do have this glass surface protector. Now, this was really heavy. I couldn't even pick it up, but I managed to pick it up for this video and it was £5. So protect your work surfaces, especially if you fabloned your work surfaces like I have. I have done a video on how to fablon your work surfaces, but I do like to get pieces like that just to incorporate the autumn decor, but also protect your work surfaces. This mango wooden platter, it was only small, but it was £6. It was absolutely gorgeous. We had some pumpkin bowls. So if you're one of these that goes all out for autumn and you change all your dinnerware, then they did have the pumpkin bowls. Now, these were £4 each, and again, they've done them in the orange and the cream, so they did match the cups. And then we've got a beautiful table runner. Sometimes I do wish I had a table to do a table scare, because they were only £8. We've got some tea towels here. Now, if I bought them, you could guarantee one of my kids or Katie would end up drying the pots with them. And that's not what they're for. In my home, they are for sure. As I moved around, I did notice that we had some ribbed tumblers. Now, these are a little bit smaller than the ones that I've shown you from different stores. And they also had them in the green. Now, this green is very popular for autumn this year. Now, this is the smaller pumpkin to the one that I showed you right at the beginning of Dunelm. And this one was only £10. So if you didn't want to spend £15 on the larger one, then they do the smaller one for £10. Which again, I don't think it's a bad price at all. So that does bring me to the end of this video, guys. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed going around Dunelm and B&M. Please make sure that you are subscribed and also don't forget to share my content. And until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of the day, whatever it is you're doing.